Dr. Dees for some of the beeps to stop so you can all get on. How's everyone doing? Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Mac. How are we all doing?
Hello, hello. Doing good from here.
Good. Good.
Hi, Sharon. It's Nita.
How are you?
Doing very well. I missed you.
I miss you too. I love hearing your voice.
Ditto.
and hi, I can. Some of you are texting me that you're on. That's very funny. You think I'm multitasking over here. Hi, Maureen. How are you? I know you're on. Hi, sweetie pie. Hi, guys. So let's jump in, all right? It's been a busy week, and it's barely begun. And I know that a lot of you are participating in the October Challenge, which is wonderful. And I think that if you go to the Rising Star page, if you'd like to participate, you will see it. But it is a wonderful way for those of you that would like more support going forward with hydration and exercise and nutrition. I think that you will love it. So I want to just kind of start by letting you all know there's a lot of wonderful support, and a lot of you have been feeling alone. That's kind of the emails I've been getting over the past week or so, that you're not realizing that there's so many support teams that are available, and all sorts of little groups, okay? So I'm going to cover some of it tonight. I will post it on the Dr. Dees Facebook page for you, okay, to kind of direct you to some of these. But I want you to know, kind of as you indicated just at the beginning, you're not alone. All right, we're doing this together. We're all in this together. We might be in different states, or for some of us in different countries, but we'll do this together. So I want to just start by welcoming everybody. This is your weekly Dr. Dees Sunrider call that we do to kind of allow for open conversation, questions, suggestions, your testimonies. It's a time for us to learn more about the Sunrider foods, the products, how we're using them, and encourage each other. Okay? It is cold and flu season, so I know a lot of you are asking already just about stuffy noses and all of that, but I'm going to start kind of in about 30 seconds, hardcore, just giving you the foundation of Sunrider, but I want to lead up to it by really saying that I am reading all of the emails and all of the texts, okay? I'm seeing it all. And I am reading everybody's up-to-dates. I know Mac's wonderful at responding on all the challenges, but I am really aware of where you guys are, and thank you for inviting me into some of these circles where I can participate too. This is a time for those of you that are new tonight. This is all about Sunrider, and a company that we all love. And some of us have been using and consuming these foods for years, some of us generations, right? Some are brand new just tonight. So we welcome all of you to the call tonight. I'm going to just begin by saying I'm Dr. Karen Spencer Dees. I have been a customer first and foremost with Sunrider International since I was a freshman in college. How about that? That's how long ago it was. I was a student studying overseas in Japan, and I was at Sophia University and studying Japanese and communications when I had my own health challenges. And believe it or not, guys, I learned about Sunrider while I was a student in Japan at the university. I landed myself in the hospital, and it was, as I've shared with so many of you, I loved this. They came in as a team, the medical doctor, along with the nutritionist, along with the herbalist or herbologist, and they all talked about quality of life and how I was going to actually feed my body, and how I was actually going to get well so I could stay at the university. And it was, to be quite honest with you, as a student, probably my first time hearing that food actually made that big of a difference other than losing or gaining weight, right? I think that was probably my first aha, and it changed my life. It took me on a very different direction in my coursework, and I made the decision to do my bachelor's and my master's and my doctorates and all of that in the field of nutrition instead. And that has been my field, biology and nutrition and hormones, for many, many years. And what I have and want to share with you is never, ever stepped away from Sunrider. While I was in Japan, the herbalist, when I went for my follow-up outside of Tokyo, he actually told me about Sunrider, and that when I came back to the United States, I needed to look it up, that it was a wonderful food company and that he knew about it. He was also a professor where I was at Amherst College in Amherst, Mass. here, and that it was very important that I learned how to nourish myself. And that was how my body would really get better. And it was my beginning of a word that has stuck with me, and it is Sunrider's foundational word called regeneration. Sunrider is a company that makes whole food nutrition. And really the expertise of Drs. Chen and their journey to Sunrider, really, to the origin, the foundation of Sunrider, has to do with Dr. Tae-Fu Chen's own experience as a sickly child, and how his grandfather absolutely harvested in through the gardens and the woods and knew which herbs would actually help to build and stabilize this young boy's body and help him recover and get stronger. And it led him on his journey to want to make a difference in the lives of all of us. And so Dr. Tae-Fu Chen really, really is the foundation of Sunrider, and his beautiful wife, Oi Lin, who is and was a Western medical doctor, brought to the table an amazing amount of knowledge and education as to how to feed the body, and really how to, as we talk about, regenerate. How do you take food and actually feed systems of the body? How do you do that, right? This takes years of knowledge, education, practice, study, and along with their wonderful children who are chemists and lawyers and doctors and are all wonderful, wonderful, amazing people who have been raised with these Sunrider foods and are raising their own children. We all learn that the word regeneration applies to all of us. And I want you to hear kind of a word that's in regeneration. It's called generation, right? I really want you to hear this, and that's why I'm kind of sharing this story with you. This isn't just about Dr. Tae-Fu Chen's journey to his own health. This is about regenerating Dr. Tae-Fu Chen's body so he could meet his beautiful wife, right? Dr. Oilin Chen. And together they have 5 children, the generations. When we regenerate, we make new, or we make again. And it is very important that we all understand that this food is a legacy. It's not here today, gone tomorrow. It's about how do we have the best possible health that we can through the best foods on the planet of the highest quality, nourish ourselves, nourish our children, right? And share it with those that we love, our neighbors, our friends, and really change the course of life, which changes our planet, right? Change stuff. And so we can either invest our time in feeling sick all the time, or we can invest our time in regenerating and nourishing our bodies to health, and thus changing the course, right? Changing the course of direction for our futures, our children's future, and their children's future. It's not just about us and our headaches today. You need to think like Dr. Chen do, futuristically. How does this impact? What does regeneration actually do to the generations going forward? And so what Dr. Chen have done is they have been able to create a company that is what we call whole food nutrition. They stabilized. Perfect example. I've shared this with you many times, right? If we have a tree, a lot of you in Florida, California, Arizona, wherever you may be, have wonderful, whether it's avocados growing and oranges and lemons and wonderful things. You can see the plethora, right, of fruit on that tree. If I pick an orange from that tree, one orange, and I then squeeze the nutrition of 10 or more oranges onto that one orange, and then all I do is eat the one orange, I have eaten the nutrition of 10 of them, but only had to digest, right, the fiber of one. It's a very important distinction because we require so much nutrition to function, that our organs function, our systems function, that we can work out, that we can, right, our brains work, that we can have concentration, we can have, right, we can have energy. We cannot just live off of an orange a day. We need the concentrated nutrition of living food that's still in its whole food state, like the orange. We cannot live on vitamins alone and one meal alone. If you are going to, like Mac or some of you, like Margie, who plays an astonishing amount of pickleball, if you want to go out and really perform and exercise, you have to have nutrition, or else your body starts to turn on itself, and we have what's called ketosis, right? It starts looking for nutrition in the muscles, or it starts depleting the body because you've asked it to do more than what you were willing to feed it. So in the brilliance of Drs. Chen and Sunrider, they have found a way to actually concentrate that small amount of food. So every capsule, actually every ingredient in every one of those foods, whether it's a capsule or a powder or a liquid, or it looks like a bar of soap to you, or it looks like body lotion to you, it's all food grade, and it's all concentrated and still alive. Therefore, it's nourishing you, whether it's nourishing your skin, nourishing your scalp, nourishing your heart, nourishing your circulatory system. It's nourishing you. And it's giving you what we call dense nutrition, low calorie, high concentration of nutrition. Because if I said to you, you need broccoli, but I need you to have 5 to 7 servings of it every single day, and that was one ingredient, right? One ingredient of that whole salad that I was about to sit down and tell you to eat. You wouldn't do it. You couldn't do it. You would say, my stomach hurts, right? I cannot digest all that. That is the brilliance of Sunrider. It is a way for you to get concentrated living nutrition still in its whole food state. When it's in its whole food state, that orange is still intact, and all of all of what makes the orange, I'm going to say this simply, all of the organic substances, whether it's vitamin C that's in its natural state, right? Whether there is fiber in it, whether whatever may be in it, minerals in it, they all are still alive, active, and in their proper proportion with each other. So that orange as food goes into your body knows what to do with it. The body can regenerate from food. The body cannot regenerate with vitamins, right? Vitamins can sustain us. They get us through the day, but we need food to build our systems. That's what Sunrider has done for you. That's why it's so spectacular. It's spectacular. And that's why so many of you, right, are just so excited when the box arrives at your door. I want to remind you that whether it's the skin and you're using skincare, whether it's a liquid and you're drinking the vial, or it looks like it's in a tea bag and you're making a tea, it's all food and it all regenerates and it's all alive and it's all in its whole food state. And it is what our bodies need to function optimally. That's the difference. It allows for our bodies to be the miracle, right? Our bodies can function optimally when we give it what it needs. This is what it needs. So as we go forward, I really want to remind you that regeneration is first and foremost for you and your body. And second, I need you to think forward. How does my getting better, my bettering myself, change the next generation? What I love is when I hear stories like Melina, who was raised, right, eating Sunrider, and then was pregnant while she was eating her Sunrider, and is raising her daughter eating Sunrider. The amazing ability that we can change cells, right? We can nourish ourselves into a healthier place, that as we go forward, our kids are healthier. Our grandchildren will be healthier. Our neighbors are healthier. It's not just about, I have a headache. What do you have? That's the difference, okay? So I want to start by sharing some of the products that a lot of you asked about, but as I said to you last week, I'm only sharing right now products that if you go on Sunrider's website, you will see they are available. I want to make sure that what we talked about, no matter how excited I may get or you may get, that you actually can turn around, go on the website and order. And you'll know because you'll see the word next to it, available, and it won't say back order. And they are catching up, I promise you. I promise you. But there are certain foods that actually play right into what we're talking about, and I want to start here because they give us a quality of life that so many of you have called me and said, I'm at the health food store, I'm at Whole Foods, or I may be in Target. I'm sure I'm in trouble for using all the names of stores. What do I buy? Well, I would prefer nothing. Go to the website and order here because I know the quality and the concentration and that it's still living. So it will do its job. I want to start with something that Margie brought up last week that a lot of you emailed me about and is a really, really important product, especially going into, and all of us who have kids in the school system know cold and flu season has officially hit. And so, because they're coming home this way. But there's a product called Refresher Drops. And when you click on it, I want to always remind you, go to where it says product fact sheet. This is all the information that you are really looking for and you can share. But the Sun Smile Refresher Drops are important. And a lot of times we forget about some of these products, but this one is really important because I'm going to read you what Sunrider writes, and then I'm going to give you a little bit of an aha to it, and I'll move on. And the simplicity of it is kiss the bad breath away, right? So we know that it takes care of halitosis, which is a very big deal because when your breath is not pleasant, that's digestive, right? We know that. So we know immediately that it starts to work on the breath and the digestive tract. But kiss bad breath goodbye. The Sun Smile Refresher Drops awaken your mouth with a cool, minty freshness with just a few drops. And I know Maureen was talking about this from a dental perspective, how important it is because mouthwash is important and this would replace it. Our concentrated herbal formula freshens your breath. Eucalyptus and neem tree extracts whiten your teeth. I get this question all the time. And I always want to remind everybody, use the Refresher Drops on your toothbrush. Whiten your teeth and support not only healthy teeth, but healthy gums. And the peppermint and the clove oil will naturally freshen your breath. And for everybody that has, and this is me, I'm speaking from a nutritional perspective, indigestion, acid reflux. You're constantly, right, having that in the back of your throat, mucus buildup. This is wonderful, wonderful. What it does is it kills the bacteria, right? Kills the bacteria. So one of the ingredients that's in here that I just want to read to you, and then you can absolutely go on this product fact sheet and you can look at it yourself. But you will see that under where it talks about the clove oil, it'll state that this aromatic herb is a natural breath freshener and has antiseptic and antioxidant properties. So it's killing the bacteria, the bad bacteria, right? It's making sure that for a lot of you, you get inflammatory responses, especially when you are getting viruses and colds and flus, and you start to notice, right, the puffiness in your cheeks. Your teeth might start hurting, your sinuses hurt, the nasal drainage starts, it goes to the back of the throat. Right? This is where it starts to become that infection. The refresher drops are your prevention to just keeping the system clean. It allows for the bacteria not to sit there. It allows, right? It's very important. It's like why anyone would use a mouthwash. But more than that, for all of us, this is so far beyond that because this has antioxidants. It actually nourishes you. And this is one of my really favorite questions. It'll say how to use. And I love on these product fact sheets, it'll give a question and answer and how to use. And it states, use the refresher drops to maintain, that's the key word, maintain your oral hygiene. Anyone who's ever had decay, tooth infection, virus, anything, we all know it starts the nose, the mouth. This is important. Put 3 to 4 drops in 2 to 4 ounces of water and switch. For even better results, use 1 drop with the SunSmile Herbal Toothpaste and brush. Okay? You will love this. You will love this. These are the SunSmile Refresher drops, and I am positive going into the season, this is one of the most important products. All right, anyone who knows who's gargled with warm water and salt knows how important it is, right, to take care of our oral hygiene when we're preventing colds and flus and viruses. The second product that I want to share with you, again, underestimated and somewhat forgotten about, and really important, guys, for the whole family, are what we call sunny days. And sunny days are very minty. Sunny days will taste a little bit like the refresher drops, a little bit like stevia, a little bit like peppermint, but I want you to hear what they do. They feel like a little gummy. They are a little chewy. They come in tins. Those of you who have used them know exactly what this will do and what I'm about to say. But this is our way to prevent, but also to restore the nature of our esophagus, the upper respiratory system, to allow for you to have a much easier season going forward. Unlike sugary breath mints, which can actually worsen oral hygiene, okay, these dynamic drops naturally and quickly, again, they're going to freshen your breath, but they have no sugar, no gelatin, no gluten, no artificial flavors, and no preservatives. What they do is they deliver more like a cool, crisp cinnamon, mint, lemon experience that supports, very similar to the refresher drops, but in between the refresher drops when you're not at home. They will support healthy teeth, healthy gums, and hear me, I'm reading right from the product fact sheet, healthy tonsils, and even digestion. If that word tonsil doesn't scream out at you, I'm not sure what to say. Your throat. Think of anybody who has spent time in their childhood or has children with swollen glands, right? I have one of my children was born with such big tonsils. Oh my goodness. And when she gets a sore throat, it's brutal. It's brutal. Suck on the sunny days. And what it does is it lubricates, it heals, it restores, and it puts those antioxidants, the whole food nutrition, right into that system upper respiratory. So again, for anyone who's ever had a tickle in their throat, anyone like myself, and many of you who've had COVID, we all know what the cough feels like. I don't know what I would have done without these sunny days. I want you to think about all the uses that are going forward in that word regeneration and prevention. That this, again, is not just what do you have for a headache. Oh, by the way, I do have a problem, right, with my tonsils. What do you have to fix it? That's not what this is about. This is about feeding the system. And the system we're talking about is going to be upper respiratory and the oral hygiene, which encompasses the sinus cavities also. So if you think about what we breathe in, right? The coughing, the tickles, the bacteria, the mucus, the swollen glands, all of that. Can you imagine if something so simple as sunny days to suck on? Anyone who's ever had a cough or a tickle knows they would give anything to make it stop. Anyone who's ever had a sore throat or who knows what it's like, right, to have a lot of decay or your gums are sore or there's bacteria. Guys, we're not looking to fix this. We're looking to prevent. And in the process, you'll notice that a lot of current things already existing start to get better. But if you do not read the product fact sheets and really look at these products, you're going to miss some of the biggest contributors to your prevention and to your regeneration. Okay? So sunny days in combination with refresher drops are a win-win and necessary for everybody for the whole season. And then when you go into allergy season, come the spring, it'll become even more important. But right now, I am telling you that the person next to you, when he sneezes, you're going to hope, right, that you have something. What am I doing to prevent that when I breathed it in, or I have that tickle in my throat, or I'm just beginning? We used to say that you suck on sunny days because people like to talk a lot or sing, or it's their profession. Now it's really a necessity. Oral hygiene is your first line of defense. Again, I am telling you that for everybody, both of these products matter. And my favorite ingredient, when I look at the sunny days, and again, I love looking at all the ingredients, and they give lovely, really important tidbits. But I looked at the eucalyptus oil, which if we crisscrossed, we'd say, oh, that's also in Sunbreeze, right? If we look at eucalyptus oil, this tree oil boasts a cooling, woodsy scent, but has soothing, anti-inflammatory properties. Can you imagine if you didn't know that sunny days actually acted like an anti-inflammatory? Especially for anyone who's ever had, and I know a lot of you had, pain, right? In your tonsils, in your, anyone who's ever had any kind of swollen gland, but even canker sores, or just your gums are irritated, or you notice that just by sucking on them, your mouth feels wonderful. And then I love the thyme oil. Again, it's an antiseptic. You're killing bacteria. and it calms. It calms. Okay, so one of the statements that Sunrider writes under its facts and questions is that this supports healthy teeth, gums, tonsils, and even your digestion and breathing. That's why we're talking about. You see how many gains there are? Upper respiratory, the breathing. And this isn't just about the breathing that we get, right? When we are struggling. This is about keeping our lungs healthy, keeping our sinus cavities healthy. Okay, we take in, we breathe out, we're good to go. Very important. And you can eat as many as you want, as you desire them. They're sitting right here. So these are sunny days and refresher drops. The third product that is really necessary going into this season right now is, and I'm so grateful that Sunrider has it back, the Chinese golden seal root. And again, another one of those products that so many only use when they're in distress versus prevention to gain regeneration. Because remember, guys, if we're not consistent, it's different than eating a meal once a week and saying, why am I not feeling better? I ate a really wonderful meal, but I only ate it once this week. Be no different than saying, I'm using the Sunrider foods to treat something sporadically. Why am I not getting the regeneration you all are talking about? Because you need consistency. You need to think of it differently. Think of it from the place of nourishment, the way we eat our food, versus just treatment. You can always use your Sunrider any way you want, but I'm going to encourage you to build your bodies with it. And one of the most wonderful products is called Chinese golden seal root. And what Sunrider states is that regarded in traditional Chinese medicine for its healing benefits, this powerful herb soothes your mucous membranes, your nose. And when I say mucous membranes, this is just the obvious. Think about when your sinuses feel really swollen. Think about when anyone who knows what a trigeminal nerve pain feels like, right? Think of what it feels like when around your eyes, right? Or you have a headache. But think about the mucous membranes in the sinus cavities. It soothes them, all right? And it also soothes the respiratory tract. So you're talking about, think about that, the upper respiratory tract. That's all we've been talking about, all right? So your sinuses, you're talking about your lungs, you're talking about, right? I'm trying to give you easy ways to remember it. Your throat. Basically what I want you to remember is it helps to prevent, but also helps you if you do feel under the weather, right? To get over it a little quicker. But we're talking about the cough, right? The distress that one feels when they don't feel great. But more than that, it's also for those that, for whatever reason, may have challenges with asthma or challenges with allergies or challenge where your mucous membranes are swollen all the time. Doesn't really matter. The bottom line is it prevents for everybody. So Sunrider states that ultra enhanced for superior effectiveness, our formula promotes healthier respiratory, immune, and circulatory systems, as well as urinary tract health. I've said this before. Sometimes we miss the message of what these products really can offer. And so if I am building my prevention to cold and flu season, and I am looking at how can my body just be stronger and how can I function optimally. And if I am somebody, right, that knows that I have frequent UTIs, or we know how important it is for your kidneys to function optimally, right? They are critical to your life so that what we bring in that's wonderful, we have to allow for what the body doesn't need that is unhealthy for us. We excrete, right? Our kidneys have to function. We have to urinate. And the systems have to be healthy. And what these products, guys, are doing is they're building the quality of your systems up, whether it's the quality of the system of the upper respiratory, of the immune, of the urinary tract system. It builds the quality of prevention for you. We know when it comes to the bacteria from the mucous membranes, from being inflamed. And what I challenge all of you as you're thinking is to have these in your home, that we're not all waiting for quinary, for the quinary to really just be the only product that makes a difference in your immune system or your circulatory system. But there are other products that matter. And so for those of you guys who are looking, and this is important because with Chinese golden seal, I want you to know that from Sunrider's perspective, and I'm reading it right from here, it says this product supports digestion, urinary tract, liver, and gallbladder health, soothes mucous membranes and respiratory tract, promotes healthy immune, promotes and supports circulation, urinary tract health again. And when we look at the difference between saying, wow, I could build up all of these organs and these systems and have prevention versus wait till I don't feel good. So going forward, yes, can you use Chinese golden seal when you don't feel great? Absolutely. But again, if we want regeneration, we need to be consistent. And Chinese golden seal, because this is food grade, you can use every day. Traditional golden seal root that you would see at the store, whether it's Whole Foods, that is a cousin, it's a different product. That will absolutely destroy the good bacteria in your gut. You'll see if you look at traditional golden seal by itself, it acts like a very mild antibiotic and kills both the good bacteria and the bad bacteria on purpose. It's used probably for 2 weeks on and then stop. Because you need that gut flora. Chinese golden seal root is not that product. This is a product that does not destroy the good bacteria in your gut at all. It builds it. And so we're looking at a very different kind of a product. But it is important as we are in this season and we are wanting, right, to make sure that whether it's coming into the season with kids at school or coming into the season because maybe you've had COVID and your immune system is a little bit run down, or a lot of people are out there, honestly, with colds and flus and all sorts of viruses right now. And the truth is we all need to do our best job at keeping ourselves, our self-care, as strong as possible. And these are 3 different products that make a very big difference to the whole family. The 4th one that I'm going to cover, and then I'll let you all just kind of jump in and talk and ask your questions, is really important because we are in a society where we really overuse acetaminophen and ibuprofen. And we know the detriment to the liver when we overuse it. And it's become like candy. And so what Sunrider has is a product called white willow bark. Again, a product that underestimated and really important. And what Sunrider states is that it is revered in China as a centuries-old remedy for pain. The bark of the white willow tree contains salicin, which converts into salicylic acid in your body and functions like aspirin, but isn't aspirin. So hear me again. It contains salicin, which converts into salicylic acid in your body. It's not giving it to you, it converts in your body. And it functions like aspirin for pain. Our synergistic formula combines salicin and powerful plant flavonoids to relieve pain and reduce inflammation. And I gotta tell you guys, outside of everybody feeling alone right now, the one thing that everybody talks about really is inflammation and pain right now. And just, it occupies so much of their mind. And if they could just get out of pain or just get out of the inflammatory state, they could then have a better quality of life and go forward. And is there something that Sunrider has? And so I want to remind you that white willow bark is an important product for all of us. And Sunrider states that it eases musculoskeletal pain. So that's all muscular, that's all skeletal. That is from head to toe, your bones, your muscles, your joints, right? Your aches, your pains, and reduces inflammation. That's incredible, guys, that there is a product that can actually help pain and reduce inflammation. Big deal. That changes lives. It provides, this always just shocked me, because it provides antioxidant support. It's super concentrated, that they found a way to do this through food. And if you look at under their ingredient highlights, it'll state that willow bark may be the oldest herb known to treat pain. Do you know that? And anyone who's ever shopped in the stores knows that there's a lot of white willow bark on the shelves. But I'm always going to ask you the same question. How is it grown? Is it concentrated? Is it still active and alive? Because in theory, I can tell you it all works. But it takes the brilliance of Sunrider to guarantee that. It is absolutely one of the best herbs for pain. The inner bark of that white willow tree is astounding. That's from the bark of the tree. That's wonderful. And what I like is that, and again, I want to read this because I think it's important. It'll state that you can use 1 or 2 capsules at mealtime. You can use it as many times as you need, but you can use it with 3 times a day, 4 times a day. But it states, how does Sunrider's white willow bark formula really work? And because I think that it's important to keep stating this, that the bark of that white willow does contain salicin. That's the key ingredient. It's a chemical similar to aspirin, but it's not aspirin. So anytime someone asks me, can I take that white willow bark? I can't use aspirin. Right? Yes. In combination with the herb's powerful anti-inflammatory plant compounds, which is amazing. It's thought to be responsible for the pain relieving and anti-inflammatory effects of the herb. And again, Sunrider concentrated it to maximize its efficacy and bioavailability. And even I think this is really important too. It also asks, how is white willow bark different from aspirin? These are the questions. They've listed the questions that you want to know, but also the next person, right, that you share it with is going to ask you the same thing. And the answers are right here from Sunrider. But how is it different? You don't have to know. You can just read this. But in contrast to aspirin, willow bark doesn't damage the gastrointestinal mucosa. Anyone who's ever had to take a lot of aspirin knows you can bleed, right? You can have liver damage, but you can have absolute bleeding in your gut from taking too much. And the truth is, when someone's in that kind of pain, they have to. They're looking for something else, but they have to. But the white willow bark doesn't damage the gastrointestinal mucosa and doesn't affect blood thinning to the same degree as aspirin. Unlike aspirin, white willow bark contains plant chemicals called polyphenols and flavonoids that have antioxidant fever reducing and immune supporting properties. And studies indicate the effects of white willow take longer than aspirin to kick in, but they tend to last longer and cause fewer, if none, actually, adverse reactions. So the answer is right here. And the aha moments are right here. Whether we're new or old, I would imagine some of you are sitting up right now saying, I didn't know that. So what do you think about those 4 products?
Dr. Dees, it's Margie.
Yes. Hi.
It's so funny while you bring that up. I was taking white willow bark as you were speaking. I played a bunch of pickleball and I was so sore, but I don't take all my friends top Tylenol and all this stuff. And if I'm a little hurt, I do white willow bark and it works great for me, and so it's awesome that you talked about that because it's so a part of my life being an athlete at my age because I get sore really easy anyway. But the other thing, I had a quick story about the I take the Chinese golden pill every day. I don't take it, I eat it every day and it's in my regimen of stuff and I have always done that. I don't know why, but I just because I knew it was helping me, I guess. But as far as the refresher drops go, I had a quick story. We were having playing cards with a couple one night and she kept complaining about her throat and I carry the refresher drops in my purse all the time.
Oh.
Whenever I think about it or if somebody's or if I've been around people or something like that, I'll just put some on my throat. So anyway, we were playing, so I gave her some and I know that her husband, hold on, I got a drink. I know her husband had kissed her, and anyway, she kept that weekend, we were all together at a place, but he put a bunch on his throat and he accidentally put a lot in. And he was choking on it and everything, but we all put some on our tongue. And it was, 2 days later, she called me and she said, sorry, but I got tested and I have strep. Well, John and I did not get, my husband and I didn't get strep, but her whole family got strep except for her husband. But anyway, so what it is the funny part is that whatever that refresher drop did, it prevented it. And so that's another preventative thing we can do. Whenever you think about it, I put a drop on my toothbrush every night, all that stuff. But the whole thing, I don't want to take up too much time, but the cool thing about Sunny Days is that it's a great thing to keep in your purse as well. But it's, when you're out and about and everybody's coughing and all, it's a nice way to offer that to people too. Hey, here's a throat lozenge or something like that. You can try. But the whole thing is that all of this is so important for us right now because, all of the flu season's coming and they're all talking about it and everything, but we have preventative stuff that we can offer people. And this is what I do. I have it with me all the time. And sometimes I give refresher drops as a gift. Like today I had my hair done and I give all Sunrider stuff to my hairdresser. She loves everything. And she's around people all the time. So I'm like, oh, you need to put this on your tongue. And so anyway, that's just one of the fun things that I do. But thank you for all your sharing with us today because I love all of these. I use all of it. So
everything you just said matters. It really matters. And how you're using it, how you're sharing it. But honestly, the daily use and that aha that, he didn't get the strep is really a big deal. Or that you're using the white willow bark for the pain where everyone else is taking Tylenol. You are doing such, an amazing gift for your body. But the truth is a lot of times people will think that it's a lesser product, right? It's not going to work the same way, right? Because it's an herb or because it's food or I'm hoping that what you all are going to glean and gain from what Margie's saying is print the product fact sheets out. And if you're giving a gift or you're sharing it with somebody and you want really for them to know this, and you are not going to memorize it, right? But we all know what we know, but you have that desire, right, to learn a little bit more, but also to let the next person have that same aha moment. Because Margie's using of white willow or they said the same thing, or consuming the Chinese golden every day, using the refresher drop, sucking on the sunny days, is giving her such a preventative foundation that all of us want, all of us. And so as she's sharing with the woman who did her hair, that's a gift. That matters. But again, unless Margie's there, how is she really going to know what that is? I want to remind everyone that this matters. This isn't foo-foo. And a lot of times when we are sharing, it's important that we have that backup of information, and Sunrider has made it available for you. Just print that off. Simple. It's simple. You don't need me. You don't need Margie. Just print it off. But I got to tell you, just listening to what Margie said, I sat here and I thought, my gosh, this makes complete sense. I will do these 4 products, right, for my son in college or my parents, right? I'll put these 4 together. I'll probably put the product fact sheets for each one together. And these are great gifts, but more than that, this is prevention, and this is going to get us all through this season. And then we're going to say, my gosh, now what's my next usage for? But the amount of pickleball that Margie really plays, and the amount of pain I'm going to guess she can be in, the fact that white willow bark really works, should tell all of us, take it seriously. Take it seriously. All right, who else? Anybody having an epiphany? Anyone on their computer ordering? Yes, that sounds like, yes, go ahead. Somebody called my name.
Yes. So it's Marlene, and I agree so much with Margie. Those products I do on a daily basis as well. But whenever we're reading the fact sheet, I'm always still amazed by all the benefits that we might use a product for a particular reason. But when you read that, it's just amazing how it really touches so many parts of our body and our life. And the one thing I did notice too, that was kind of a little bit of a epiphany when you were talking about the white willow bark and about the pain and inflammation and all of that, that I know sometimes people maybe will think, oh, it's not going to work as fast. But the fact that it will last longer, that's amazing.
That got you.
That really did. And I use it all the time. I mean,
there's the first, now you have it. Now you have a new reason.
Yes, that it's even going to last longer. That's amazing. And I also use the products on a daily basis for preventative, and also if you need extra, if you're not feeling that well. But thank you so much. These are really important products, I think, for everyone to take a look at.
Sometimes I think we miss one of the gifts in some of the products being back ordered is that some of the products that take a little bit of a back seat that I just want everybody to know about and use and look at are taking front stage. And I think they're very important. And they're very important going into this specific season right now. And we all know that. And they're kid-friendly at the same time. But I want to promise you that one of the texts that one of you just sent me is something, if you're questioning whether or not you're pregnant or is it suitable for your child, I'm going to answer you the same way. Sunrider will always list on their bottle or on their website under that product, always, if there is ever a contraindicator because you're pregnant, always. And that's because Dr. Oilin Chen has been an obstetrician. And so for those of you that may ask, can I use this product if I'm pregnant? I'm going to tell you that 99% of these products is a yes. There may be one or two that may not be the best for you, but it will always state it. Okay? Always, like anything in life. I want you to read it first and ask your questions. But all of the things that we are talking about, guys, are good for everybody. I hope that you will start today to be more consistent in building your body up and using the products daily versus just using them as treatment. Okay? All right. Marlene, I'm going to let you jump in and share what else is coming up tonight, and we'll go from there.
Okie doke. Well, thank you so much again, Karen. Fantastic information. I know so many people will benefit. So right after this call is the Rising Stars Zoom team call, and that is a fantastic supportive call. It's really worth jumping on. And then right after that, there is a Sunrider call tonight, and it is the September Top Achievers. And so they asked us to come on and join and congratulate all those that have made some accomplishments. And it's another great call. I think we can all support each other and learn something as well.
That's wonderful. All right, guys. So you can look on the Rising Stars page on Facebook for that information, or on my page for that information. I hope that this is giving you a little bit of a jump start into the season with these amazing products. If I can benefit you in any other way, go ahead and send me an email, and I will get back to you, or you can text me. All right, everyone. Feel good. Let's prevent. Remember, guys, regenerate ourselves, and then let's regenerate the future generations so they have a wonderful world, right? That they can fall back on. All right, love you guys.